No fears, no chains.
Invites you to live a life of emotional abundance.
Written by Vanessa Pisuto. Narrated by Belinda Sainsbury.
A pleasant good morning, dear friends. Today, January 6th, our devotion is entitled 18 Inches. Our scripture reading is from John chapter 4, verse 24. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. It's only 18 inches and 20 centimeters. However, it's one of the most difficult distances to travel. The distance between the brain and the heart. And speaking of that distance, a few years ago, I realized there was a distance. In other words, a discrepancy between what I believed in my mind and what I felt in my heart. So, I began praying and asking God for the truth to fall from my brain to my heart, like a ripe fruit that is pulled to the ground by the force of gravity. One day, as I was listening to God is Still Here, a song by J.J. Heller, I realized that many of us have an issue with those 18 inches. In that song, she asks, what if all the truth that is in my head would move down to my heart? And she asks God to help her stop feeling anxious and afraid. As long as our heart and our mind are at odds with one another, we won't have peace. If the marriage between our heart and mind is unequally yoked, we will be like a house divided against itself, which cannot stand. It's absolutely necessary for the truth in our minds to awaken love in our hearts. As women, many of us have been taught from a young age not to fully trust our emotions and to live out our faith as a purely rational act. However, even the demons believe and tremble. James 2:19. It's very important to have the right theological knowledge of God. But unless our hearts are imbued with God's love, our spiritual lives will be cracked and dry. We need to delve further into the ocean of God's love and not simply read about that ocean. Dear God, please align my heart and mind so that they might pull the wagon of my life in the same direction. I want to know you more, but I am also afraid. It's much easier to read about the ocean than to dare to go into it and get completely wet. Only you can work that miracle. Take my hand, dear Lord. Lead me to the depths of your revelation. Lead me where I can't touch the bottom, where my mind alone is not enough. Lead me to a place where I will experience a complete transformation of my heart and mind. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. John 4:24.